Welcome back, viewers, to another Week in Review video recap. I am your host, Rocket, and if you've been cheering for my boys in blue, I'd like to thank you because they're in the Final Four in the NCAA tournament for the first time in about 20 years, so it's about time, right? Anyways, let's get down to some business. This past few weeks, we've been talking about what could possibly top-tick this market. What could be the catalyst to drive this thing into, at least a correction since January, the 10% run that the S&P has had. And we've mentioned a lot of top-level things, but we finally saw the first concrete chink in the armor this week with the sell-off in the Russell. There was massive distribution from institutions early on in the week for like 3 days, and it was about, if you look at the IWMs, which is the ETF that tracks the Russell, it was about 3 times the average volume. So it was pretty substantial, and the significance of this is the fact that it means that these institutions are moving away from growth and risk, and they're putting their money in defensive areas such as consumer staples and healthcare. We've been seeing that, but now it's really become evident. I mean, you see Procter & Gamble, ripping 4% a day. Those kind of things just don't happen typically. So when you see action like that, it's really, the risk is really coming off. The other thing to note too, and this parlays into our 100-year market theory, is the fact that the S&P cannot break outside of its, at least currently, cannot break above its massive secular 12-year channel. We have a webinar coming up on the 18th where you can check in to see what this means and what this theory is all about. We've also updated our 10-year chart. It's also on the website. It's also behind me right here. So you can check those things out to see what we're talking about with that theory. All this isn't to say that the market's going to go down from here or we're going to correct or do anything. It's just things to be aware of, and we'll talk about that in the where. But check it out, and I'll see you next week.